Hello there, this is Daniele from Toolchefs and welcome to this new video. Today we're going to have a look at how you can build materials at runtime with the new variation workflow in Atom 6. So to use this feature, the first thing that you have to do is to build a new material. You can go in the variation manager and then select an agent type and go under the material tab. I'm going to add a new entry and I'm going to call it t-shirt. I'm going to filter here the t-shirt string so I can see all the t-shirt, all the materials containing t-shirt in their name. So as you can see here, the first change from the previous versions of Atoms, here we see before this item was just called preview, now it's called preview/render. With this mean that if you don't provide a path to a material file, so in this case here we have as files, but in this case we wouldn't have one, then Atoms will fall back to the basically to the values that you provide here in this section. So you can provide one or more diffuse map that can be selected by metadata on the agent. So here you provide the metadata name. You can also change the hue on the diffuse here by providing another metadata. In Arnold, the range that is allowed is between 0 and 360. For other render engines, the value might change, and I would recommend checking the Atoms documentation for seeing which range is allowed. And then you can provide also a specular map and a normal map. So basically, let's start by adding some textures, so diffuse. So I'm going to pick that one, so that is the white, and then I'm going to add another diffuse. For this one, I'm just gonna go give a straight. Yeah, actually, let me pick the gray like this. Okay, so here then I can call it diffuse slot. So this is the metadata name that we're gonna use later on our agent group. I'm gonna call this one diffuse hue. Then just for the purpose of this video, I'm going to go under the tree. We're using the casual summer variation type. So under the t-shirt, I'm gonna add a variation override. And I'm going to give that material that I just created, and I'm gonna save it. One important thing to know is that these materials that are built at runtime, they're actually just being used on a render time. So when you actually render, you will not be able to see these changes inside the viewport. Okay, so now that we're done with that, we can go back to the to our agent group here. Now Atoms has refreshed the viewport, and you will see that we have all white t-shirt because Atoms is picking the first diffuse map that it can find. So you wouldn't be able to see the randomization. I can take that metadata name. I'm gonna call another metadata, and then I'm gonna call this one diffuse slot. I'm gonna give an integer, and then I'm gonna randomize between 0 and 1. Because here we have just two slots, so this one is going to be the first diffuse map, and this one is going to be the second. The index starts from 0, so this is going to be 0 and this is going to be 1, as you can see here. So if now I save this one and I render, so let me check if Arnold is, yeah, Arnold is there. Actually, sorry. Silly me, I forgot to add a light. Okay, so now should be okay. So as you can see here, we have just white or gray, but it's actually black t-shirts. Okay, so this is how you can randomize, the actual texture. So as you can see here, we have just added real quickly some, so let me go back here, two diffuse maps, and then we're just able to change the look of the t-shirt quite quickly. You could even just have, like just materials that can contain different diffuse maps, and then not even having the material files if you want to use this other workflow. For the hue, let me use maybe a color that makes sense. So maybe we can use a straight yellow because of course we are not able to change the hue of white and black. So let me maybe just orange or something. Where is orange? Well, actually, let's use this another yellow though. Well, let's use the pink. So if I save this one and I render again, let's see, we should see the updated. Yeah, we see the updated t-shirts. Now, if I go back to the agent group, I can add another metadata, and I can provide the diffuse hue name. I think, let me just check it again. The diffuse hue. So this one is an int. In an Arnold case, again, for your specific render engine, just always double check the documentation about the type. And then this one, maybe we can provide actually, you know what, we could even randomize it between 0 and 360, which is the allowed range. And if I render again, so you see we end up with agents having different colored t-shirts. So in this video we used Arnold, and with Arnold we can render out from the agent group directly, so we don't need to cache out the simulation and use the proxy. This at least for test renders. Of course, if you want to create a final render, you always need a proxy. But all the other render engines, they just work with a proxy. So I just used the agent group simply because, again, it was gonna be quicker to make this video. But even if you cache out the simulation, and if you know the metadata names for the diffuse map and the hue, you can still change those values directly from the proxy. There is an agent metadata section in the overrides. And this is all for this video. Thanks for watching.